Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and I'm going to be doing a Metalfoes deck profile. So I'm really excited to do this for you guys because this deck was actually suggested to me by one of my patrons, Zach. And this deck is an amazing pendulum deck that's super fun to be able to play because it fusion summons out some amazing fusion monsters. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell in there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. Like in your name, description of every single video, getting assigned cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month to your Patreon. And definitely give Zach some love down in the comments down below for suggesting such an awesome deck. So let's get straight on into this one, guys. So first off, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Volflame. Now, all of your Metalfoes monsters actually share a common pendulum effect outside of your copy of Vanisher. And this card is a really cool effect that once per turn, you can target one other face-up card that you control and destroy it, and if you do, set a Metalfoes spell or trap directly from your deck, which is a great effect to instantly get the exact card you need on your side of the field, like one of your Metalfoes fusions or a copy of one of your Metalfoes traps. We then play 3 copies of Gold Driver. Gold Driver is really good as a 3-of in the deck because this card comes out at a 1900 attack points, which is amazing. We then play 2 copies of Silverrod. Silverrod is just a great 2-of in the deck because it is a scale 1. We then play 2 copies of Steelin. Steelin's really good as a 2-of in the deck as well, but it is a level 2 with 0 attack points, which is why I'm just playing this card as a 2-of. We then play 3 copies of Melcaster. Melcaster is a definite 3-of in the deck, and this card has a great ability. If this card on the field is destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can add a face-up Metalfoes Pendulum monster from your extra deck to your hand, except another copy of this card, which is a great ability just to recover one of your Metalfoes cards so you can summon it to your side of the field and not have to summon it into the extra monster zone or summon it into one of your link zones. We then play 3 copies of Bismugear. Bismugear is really good as a 3-of in the deck because this card actually searches you cards during the end phase if it's destroyed by battle or by card effect, which is such a cool effect about this card. We then play a single copy of Vanisher. Vanisher is a super unique card that's actually an amazing boss monster that has an awesome pendulum effect that if a monster you control is destroyed by card effect, then you actually can add a Metalfoes card from your grave to your hand, except another copy of Vanisher. And it also has the ability that while this card is in your hand, you can target 2 face-up cards that you control, including a Metalfoes card, destroy them, and if you do, special summon this card from your hand, which is an insane effect to instantly get this card on your side of the field, also popping 2 cards. And if this card is special summoned by the effect of a Metalfoes card, you can target one monster that your opponent controls or in their graveyard and banish it, which is an insane effect just to be able to banish a card that your opponent controls, which is such a good effect. So that's it for the Metalfoes monsters. Let's get into the other monsters that we're playing in this deck. So we're going to start off with 3 copies of Magical Abductor. This card is a really awesome 3-of in the deck because this card actually helps you search out Magician Souls, which is absolutely crazy because each time a spell card is activated, you place a spell counter on this card when that effect resolves. And you can also remove 3 spell counters from this card to add 1 level 1 spellcaster monster from your deck to your hand, which is a crazy powerful effect to basically just instantly get you a copy of Magician Souls, which is such a good ability. We then play a single copy of Jackal King. Jackal King is amazing because it's a walking negate, which is absolutely crazy, and it's super easy to get on your side of the field. We then play a single copy of Endymion, the Mighty Master of Magic. This card is a great combo piece in the deck, which is why we play this card as a 1-of in the deck. We then play a single copy of Astrograph Sorcerer. This card is great in the deck as a 1-of as well because this card is really good because if you do pop one of your cards, you can instantly special summon this card to your side of the field and get a search of the card that you popped, which is such a good effect about your copy of Astrograph, and it's so easy to put on your side of the field. We then play 3 copies of an extremely spicy tech card that I'm actually going to lay face down, and we're going to play Guess That Card. This card is a really good 3-of in the deck that's one of the best normal summons that you can play with this deck, and it helps out a lot because you can use your Metalfoes effects with this card. This card is an amazing card, and we're going to reveal this card in 3, 2, 1, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, guys. Hit the bell in there so you can become part of the notification squad, and we're on the road to 100k subscribers, so every subscriber counts. So let's go ahead and check out this card, and it's actually going to be 3 copies of Balbaboon. Did you guys get it right? This card is really good as a normal summon in the deck because if this card is normal or special summon, you can draw a card and then place one card from your hand on either the top or the bottom of your deck. But the insane effect about this card is if this card is destroyed by battle or by card effect, which your Metalfoes monsters will be destroying it by card effect, you can special summon any number of Bababoon from your deck, which is an insane ability just to instantly get more Bababoons on your side of the field, so you can resolve more of your Metalfoes monsters' effects. This card is really good as a 3-of in the build, and it's probably the best normal summon in the deck because it helps you fix your hands if you want to put something back. It also helps you basically just swarm the board with monsters so you can go into some really cool link plays, and it's just an overall fantastic card in this build. We then played just 2 copies of Magician Souls. This card is really easy to get to, which is why I'm just playing 2 copies in the deck. It's very easy to summon to your side of the field because you just send a level 6 or higher spellcaster monster from your deck to the grave to special summon this card to your side of the field, and if you control it, you can send up to 2 spells and traps from your hand or your side of the field to the grave, and then draw that many cards, which is a great effect. We finally played for a single copy of Illusion of Chaos. Illusion of Chaos is really good as a 1-of in the deck because it can search out your copy of Magician Souls, which is really good. And also, if you have multiple copies of Bababoon in your hand, you can actually put those back so that you can basically summon them from the deck off of Bababoon's effect, which is just super cool. I love that about this combo in the deck, that you basically just reveal this, add Magician Souls, and then your copy of Illusion of Chaos will make you put something back on your deck. And so you basically just put back your extra copies of Bababoon so you can normal summon it and then draw and then discard, or be able to put a card back again so you put the Bababoon back again, and then you just pop it with your copy of a Metalfoes to get a search, and then the deck is shuffled, you summon out 2 more copies of this, and it just gets you a full field, which is insane. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to start with a single copy of Metalfoes Fusion. Metalfoes Fusion is an amazing one in the deck that helps you fusion summon into your Metalfoes monsters, but it also has a really cool ability. If this card's in the graveyard, you can shuffle it into the deck and then draw a card, which is an insane effect about this card. We then play a single copy of Full Metalfoes Fusion. Full Metalfoes Fusion is a quick play fusion spell which helps you go in for your fusion plays. We then play a single copy of Metalfoes Fusion. I feel like 1 copy of this card is really all you need in the deck, but I feel like 1 of each of these cards gives you the most variety to fusion summon into the exact cards that you need. But I really like Metalfoes Fusion in this deck because it lets you fusion summon a Metalfoes Fusion monster from your extra deck using 1 monster from your hand, field, or face up from extra deck as a fusion material, which is such an amazing effect to just basically fusion into those cards, also using cards from face up from extra deck, which is just absolutely insane. We then play 2 copies of Preparation of Rites. Preparation of Rites is really good in the deck as a 2-of, just to help you get to your copy of Illusion of Chaos so that you can search out your copy of Magician Souls. We then play 3 copies of Super Polymerization. Now, a lot of your monsters in the extra deck that are Metalfoes cards are very generic to summon out to your side of the field, so Super Polymerization was almost made for this deck, or vice versa. The Metalfoes were made for Super Polymerization, but this card is really good in the deck because it just helps you summon out all sorts of cards while also board breaking your opponent, which is absolutely insane. Like, some of your Metalfoes monsters just require monsters of certain attack points, which is just super insane how easy it is to be able to make some of your fusion monsters using this card, and while also outing your opponent's monsters. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're going to start with a single copy of Metalfoes Counter. I feel like 1 is really all you need for this deck, because this card is really good because if a card you control is destroyed by battle or by card effect, special summon a Metalfoes monster from your deck. And during either player's turn, except the turn this card was sent to the grave, you can banish this card from the grave to add a face-up Metalfoes Pendulum monster from your extra deck to your hand, which is a pretty good ability. We then play one of the most crazy cards in the entire deck, and that's going to be 2 copies of Metalfoes Combination, which is so easy to search out, which is why we just played 2 copies instead of 3, but it has a really good ability that once per turn, if a fusion monster is fusion summoned, then you can target a Metalfoes monster in your graveyard with a lower level than that fusion monster and special summon it. And if this card is sent from the field to the grave, you can add a Metalfoes monster from your deck to your hand, which is a great effect to be able to combo with your Metalfoes cards to be able to use that effect. I love that search effect, and it's such a powerful effect to be able to use with this card. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, guys, we're going to start off with 2 copies of Metalfoes. Metalfoes is really good as a 2-0 in the build and just requires a Metalfoes monster plus a Pendulum monster, making it very easy to summon with cards like Super Polymerization. But it also has a great ability that you can target up to 2 Metalfoes cards in your grave and 1 card on the field and shuffle the targets from the graveyard into the deck, and if you do, return the target on the field back to the hand, which is a great ability just to be able to recycle some of your cards while also bouncing cards off the field. We then play a single copy of the Pendulum Metalfoes Fusion. This card is really good as a 1-of in the deck. Pretty easy to summon to your side of the field because it just requires a Metalfoes monster plus a Fusion monster, which is amazing to be able to do. And if this card is special summoned from the extra deck, you can target 1 card that your opponent controls and shuffle 2 face-up Pendulum monsters from your extra deck back in the deck. If you do, destroy that card, which is an amazing effect to be able to use with this card. We then play a single copy of Orichalc. This card is great in the deck, but it just requires 2 Metalfoes monsters. And if a Metalfoes monster you control attacks a defense position monster, it lets you double piercing damage, which is insane about this card. I love that effect about this card, and if this card on the field is it's in the graveyard, you can actually target 1 card on the field and destroy it, which is just such a good ability if it's sent to the grave. We then play a single copy of Alcahest. Alcahest is insane because it does require normal monsters, so it's really good in a lot of matchups that if you're going to have normal monsters played against you, this card is amazing, and it's such a cool card to be able to summon to your side of the field, because it has an amazing ability that it must be fusion summoned and cannot be special summoned by other ways, and once per turn, during your opponent's turn, you can actually target 1 effect monster on the field and equip that target to this card, and it's a quick effect, which is such a good ability about this card, basically being like a copy of Relinquished. And this card gains defense equal to the combined original attack of the monsters equipped to this card by this effect, which is just an insane ability. How awesome that is to be able to just basically equip opponent's monsters to this card, and he gets a really big defense. We then play a single copy of Crimsonite. Crimsonite is the reason I actually played Super Poly in this deck, because Crimsonite is insane and just has a really good ability. It just requires a Metalfoes monster plus 2 monsters with 3,000 or less attack, making this card one of the most powerful Super Poly targets ever, because you just fusion summon away 2 of your opponent's monsters that have 3,000 or less attack points. Doesn't matter if the same attribute, same type, doesn't matter anything. They just have to have 3,000 or less attack points plus 1 of your Metalfoes to make a 3,000 monster, which is just absolutely crazy. We then play a single copy of Garua. Garua is just really good as a Super Poly target too. We play a single copy of Mud Dragon. Mud Dragon is also a really good Super Poly target, which is amazing. We then play a single copy of Odd Eyes Vortex. Odd Eyes Vortex is very easy to summon this deck off your copy of Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon. We do play level 7s in the deck, so it's very easy to make your copy of Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon and then make your copy of Vortex Dragon. Plus your copy of Vortex Dragon is a negate, which is amazing. We then play for the Link monsters. We're going to be playing a single copy of Access Code. Access Code is really good at popping multiple cards on the field, which is just really, really good. Play a single copy of Exceed the Pendulum. This card is an amazing new card that we just got out of Age of Overlord, and has a really cool ability that gains 100 attack for each Pendulum monster that you control, which is really a great ability. And also, if this card is Link Summon, you can add 1 face-up Pendulum monster from your extra deck to your hand, which you're going to have a lot of them face up in the extra deck because of your Metalfoes effects. And during the main phase, quick effect, you can actually special summon a Pendulum monster from your hand or graveyard in defense position with a level between the levels of your Pendulum scales, which is a great ability. I love that about this card, and it's just such a cool card. We then play a single copy of Selene. Selene's really good in this deck because we do play spellcasters, so it's very easy to make this card and then basically step into a copy of Access Code. We then play a single copy of our Beyond the Pendulum. Beyond the Pendulum is great because it searches out Pendulum monsters from the deck, and it's a really good card overall in the deck. We then play a single copy of Cross Sheep. Cross Sheep is really good because you see all these fusion cards, it makes this card live, which is amazing. I love that about Cross Sheep in this deck, and it helps you make so many cool plays because it helps you bring back your copies of your cards from the grave that are level 4 or lower if you do fusion summon, making it an instant copy of Selene if you bring back something like a copy of Magician's Souls, which is so cool about this card. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed. This deck is super fun to be able to play. If you guys have never played Metalfoes before, you should definitely give this deck a try because it's such a cool deck. I absolutely love Metalfoes, especially because they're normal monsters, which is just absolutely crazy, especially with how powerful this deck is. So that's going to do for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.